again. Today we are going to talk about Multiversity, which is DC's other multiverse event. Now this is written by Grant Morrison, and Grant Morrison was back in the 80s along with Alan Moore and Neil Gaiman. Grant Morrison was one of those writers that really helped me understand what comics was truly capable of. You just have to go back and read his Doom Patrol, read his Animal Man stuff, which was really meta. What you've got here with Multiversity is Grant Morrison attempting to, through various adventures, really map the DC multiverse. You've got two bookends, which are Multiversity 1 and Multiversity 2, and in between you've got 7 issues which are set on various worlds around the DC multiverse. These 7 stories do stand on their own, but they all add to the story as a whole. Morrison is writing the map, the guide to the DC multiverse, providing a framework for what DC hoped to do post-Convergence. So this is fantastic. This is Grant Morrison's map of the multiverse. It's upside down. This is his orrery of worlds, and you can see, you know, he's got like 52 worlds mapped there, including all the spiritual realms and so on. It's quite a work. It must have taken quite a lot of work to get that all down. What's Multiversity about? It's so hard to explain because, Grant Morrison. But basically you have, it's essentially about the formation of an inter-multiverse Justice League, if you like, bringing heroes together from all over the multiverse to combat a threat to every single universe there is. And it starts off with the last of the Monitors. The Monitors were a race that kind of patrolled the multiverse, and the last of them basically sacrifices himself to save the multiverse. And essentially the story is about what we do, what the heroes do to save him, and in so doing save the multiverse, because the threat is bleeding through to each multiverse and warnings are being delivered across the dimensional barrier through comics. You got to read it for yourself. So, is Multiversity any good? I blooming loved it. It's typical Morrison in that you get to the end of it and you go, what? Let me read that one again. But the scope is fantastic. This succeeds where Convergence doesn't quite meet the mark because it's bold, it's fresh. You get the feeling that he doesn't feel limited by what's to come or by any legal framework. He's just gone in and done amazing stuff. The covers of each issue are fantastic. Have a look at this. I think it's worth buying just for the artwork, actually. One of the things that is quite interesting about Grant Morrison is that he doesn't spoon feed you. And this is part of what some people may struggle with in some of these comics. So you'll read it and go, but there's no answer to what's going on. And you really have to think deeply to kind of get the thread of what's happening. This is true in an issue called Pax Americana. I loved Pax Americana. Here it is. See it? Now, it's set in a world in which my favourite ever character exists, The Question. And Grant Morrison obviously knows The Question, has enjoyed writing him for this. So I went into the shop, and this is my problem. This right here is my problem with Multiversity. I went in there and I saw this and it says, oh, director's cut. Fantastic. Like, you get a DVD, you got the director's commentary. That would be great. See how it comes along. And at the back, you can see that, you know, there's notes on how the artwork came together. If you keep going, there's, you know, you can see it there, how he's playing with the panels and stuff. Always, and Frank Quietly's drawing, and when these two work together, it's always quite experimental, and I love it. And there's, you know, you can see how it comes together from the script to the thing. It's very nice, but I've seen that before and stuff. I like it, but it doesn't really make me excited. So I opened it up. It was shrink wrapped, so you couldn't see inside it, but you know, it's got The Question in. I have every comic that The Question's in, so I was very excited about this. I opened it up. It's not blooming coloured in. Is that what makes it special? You haven't coloured it in. For paying £7.99 in English pounds for a comic, I bloody want it coloured in. Am I asking too much? Or at least put it on the shrink wrapping so I know, listen mate, this one's not coloured in. Let me know. Not happy. Want my money back. Right. also saying, I do admire Grant Morrison's ability to have a standalone story that adds to the cohesive whole. Essentially, I think Multiplicity is fan-blooming-tastic. Next time, I will talk about my big problem with DC in their whole multiverse thing. I call it DC's faux pas. Join me tomorrow.